From Universal Studios Hollywood, welcome to Home and Family.
Our next guests were two regular moms who wanted to find out the sex of their babies before the 20-week waiting period, so they created a product to help. So please welcome the co-founders of IntelliGender, Rebecca Griffin and Teresa Garland.
Welcome.
Hi, ladies. What is IntelliGender?
IntelliGender is an in-home gender prediction test that was designed to bridge the curiosity gap from conception to sonogram.
So you could do this at 10 weeks, which is much sooner than you can if you just a blood test or,
or the sonogram.
And the doctor has to prescribe, or
no, this is performed in the home.
Over the counter.
Completely results in minutes.
I just did the string thing.
I was going to say, get rid of the string test.
This works a little better than
what, is it accurate?
It is.
Okay, we're going to find out how accurate when we sit down and chat coming up.
Hang on there. Rebecca Griffin is here. Teresa Garland is here. They're talking about their product that can predict the gender of your baby. Am I really doing this? Am I really sitting here trying to read?
Much fun. All right, I'll help you out. We're going to come back and they can predict the gender of your baby.
In just 10 weeks. At 10 weeks of age. Really? It's over, isn't it? Christina, you're in the den in there, the man cave, if you will. And what you got going on in there?
Well, I'm surprised I'm in the man cave without you because you don't let anybody come in here without you.
I don't certainly feel manly right now,
no,
so I can't. I'm not allowed in there.
All right. Well, we're back with Rebecca Griffin and Teresa Garland, and they share why and how they came up with their over-the-counter product, IntelliGender. The gender prediction test that moms can take when they want to know if they're having a boy or a girl, like at 10 weeks old, right?
Correct.
How did you guys come up with this idea?
You know, it's a really funny story. We went to lunch one day. We're friends. We live in the same neighborhood, and we were just visiting and ended up at lunch talking about the gaggle of kids that we have between the two of us.
And how many?
7. Okay. And we just talking about how, you know, there was nothing on the market for learning a gender. You know, Rebecca's always been obsessed with trying to figure out what she was having when she was pregnant.
Were you?
Not as much as she was. I mean, she was really into it.
Right away.
Yes.
I had 3 boys, and it took 4 to get the girl.
Yeah. So
I wanted to find out. So then, what is IntelliGender? How did you come up with this idea for it?
Well, it was just through lunch, and it was just a matter of, you know, we were amazed that there was nothing on the market like that yet, and we couldn't believe that, you know, you still had to go to get a sonogram at 20 weeks. So we just went back and started doing some research. We were Googling and...
Well, what were you Googling and researching?
We would just Google gender prediction, and it was amazing, the pages and pages of data, you know, information that had been back there from the 40s and the 50s. I mean, you know, people would quote things. There was all kinds of data, and Rebecca found a little story about, tell them about the barley.
Not only as far back as the 40s, but as far back as the 17th century. The way that they found out if a mom was pregnant, and I'll use this word on TV, but they had the mom pee on wheat. And pee on barley.
Okay.
And if neither one of them grew, she wasn't pregnant. But if the barley grew, she was having a boy. And if the wheat grew, she was having a girl. So so that demonstrated, that was kind of our aha moment.
Wow.
There is a differential in the urine of a mom who's carrying a boy versus a girl.
Sure.
So then we took it to the next level and went and found a formulary who would work with us on that. Crazy idea. So
to put it, okay, well, we have a B-roll here. We want to take a look at exactly how this works.
Great.
Collect your first morning urine in the cup provided. Remove the sticker from the top of the test, exposing a hole. Carefully pull 20 cc's into the syringe and insert the tip of the syringe into the exposed hole in the test, and then add the urine. Swirl the test in a circular motion for 10 seconds. Place the test on a flat, preferably light surface, and do not disturb for the next 5 minutes. At the 5-minute mark, read your result at eye level without disturbing the test. If your test is green, you have a boy result. If your test appears orange or virtually unchanged, you have a girl result.
Again, how did you come up with this idea, though? I know you did a lot of research, but that doesn't look like something you did like in a week or 2 weeks and say, okay, we're going to twirl this around. You obviously had to have a lot of medical professional help, data collected.
We had a lot of data collected. There had been tests done on predicting the gender, we found out through urine for for decades. And that just becomes a starting point. And when we found somebody that would then help us perform the experiments and start fine-tuning, I mean, it was...
So a simple urine test.
It's a simple urine test. And when we first started out, the fun thing was we got known in the neighborhood as the gender ladies. And women, pregnant moms were delivering their urine to our mailbox and our front door, and we had to apologize to the mailman, we're sorry.
But the kids would never go get the mail for us.
Yeah.
So, but the swirling, is there some kind of solution in there that you need to just swirl and let it sit for 5 minutes?
Yes, it's a proprietary mix of chemicals.
Okay, so how accurate is this test?
In our laboratory, it was 90%, but we don't market our test based on that because we recognize that it's difficult to achieve the same results in-home as you can achieve in a controlled laboratory environment. So our in-home results have been 78 to 82%, and we attribute that to the fact that moms are in a hurry to find out what they want to have. And as such, they don't want to wait until the next morning to use first morning urine. They don't want to be sure that they've abstained from intercourse for 48 hours. And not only that,
Go ahead.
they read the test with their hearts instead of their eyes. They'll see it's clearly orange, but they want a boy, so.
Well, has anybody ever been disappointed where it said it was a girl and they're really carrying a boy? Have you gotten any complaints or?
We do. I mean, we put a caveat out there, if you're going to get too emotionally attached because we're not, then, maybe our test isn't for you.
I see.
So please just enjoy it. It's a fun thing to do before you have your sonogram.
All right. Okay. Well, I wish I had that when I was pregnant because I wanted to know which time I had to take the test and wait 5 weeks before I could find out. This is great. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
IntelliGender. All right. We're going to check in with Mark right now. But before we go, for more information, you can go to IntelliGender.com if you want to find out more about IntelliGender.
Yes, and you can find the test at Walgreens and CVS and any of your neighborhood drugstores.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
ladies.
Thank you.